Imagine for a moment that you're the captain of a ship. You hold the wheel firmly in your hands, guiding it through turbulent waters. Now think of your body as that ship. Every cell in your body is like a crew member, working together to keep the ship on course. Just like a captain commands their crew, you have the power to command your cells. So we're going to explore how you can do that and transform your life by telling your cells exactly what to do. Your body is an extraordinary network of cells, each one working diligently to maintain your health and well-being. But here's the secret. These cells are not just passive entities. They respond to your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. The key to commanding your cells lies in understanding how to communicate with them effectively. First, let's dive into how your thoughts influence your cells. Your brain is a powerful instrument that controls everything about your body. Every thought you have sends a signal through your nervous system, and that signal is received by your cells. Imagine your thoughts as the commands you give to your body. When you think positively, you are essentially sending a message of health and vitality to your cells. On the other hand, negative thoughts send messages of stress and disease. When you wake up in the morning, your brain transitions from deep sleep to wakefulness. This transition involves shifting through different brainwave states, from delta to theta, alpha, and then beta. Each of these states has a specific role. In the morning, as you move from delta to theta, your brain is still in a state of deep relaxation. This is a prime time for setting intentions and communicating with your cells. By focusing on positive thoughts and feelings, you are telling your cells to prepare for a day of health and productivity. Let's dive into the role of emotions and how they affect your body. Emotions are like a language your body uses to communicate with itself. When you experience an emotion, your body releases special chemicals called neurotransmitters. These chemicals act as messengers, telling your cells how to respond to what you're feeling. Think of neurotransmitters as tiny postal workers, delivering important messages throughout your body. Each emotion you feel has a specific impact because of these chemicals. For instance, when you feel joy, your body releases endorphins. Endorphins are natural chemicals that help you feel good and can even help with healing. They act like a natural painkiller and mood lifter, promoting overall well-being. Endorphins are often released during activities that make you happy or excited, like exercising, laughing, or spending time with loved ones. This is why these activities make you feel so great. They're helping your body release endorphins, which boosts your mood and helps you feel healthier. On the other hand, negative emotions such as stress, anxiety, or fear have a different effect. When you experience these emotions, your body releases different chemicals like cortisol. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone. While it's helpful in short bursts, like in emergencies, too much cortisol can be harmful. It can lead to problems like high blood pressure, weakened immune function, and poor digestion. When you're stressed, your body goes into a state of alert. This state, known as the fight or flight response, releases chemicals to prepare you to deal with immediate danger. However, if you're under constant stress, this response can be harmful. It keeps your body in a heightened state of alertness, which can wear down your health over time. Emotions are powerful because they directly affect how your cells function. For example, when you're feeling happy, the endorphins released help your cells repair and regenerate. They can also improve your immune system, making you less likely to get sick. Positive emotions create a healthy environment inside your body, which supports overall wellness. Conversely, negative emotions create a more stressful environment in your body. The stress chemicals released during negative emotions can cause inflammation, disrupt your immune system, and even affect your mental health. Over time, this can lead to chronic health issues and affect how your body functions. Understanding how emotions influence your body can help you make better choices to improve your health. For instance, Managing stress and focusing on positive emotions can lead to better health outcomes. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, and positive thinking can help you shift from negative to positive emotions, improving your overall well-being. To harness the power of emotions for better health, try incorporating practices that boost positive feelings. Activities like exercise, hobbies, spending time with friends, or simply enjoying a favorite meal can all help release feel-good chemicals in your body. Engaging in these activities regularly helps maintain a positive emotional state and supports your health. Another way to manage emotions is through self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel and how those feelings affect your body. If you notice that certain situations or thoughts trigger negative emotions, you can work on changing your response. Techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy or talking with a therapist can help you understand and manage your emotions better. By practicing mindfulness and emotional control, you can command your cells to operate in a state of balance and health. This means cultivating positive emotions and reducing stress. When you manage your emotions effectively, you create a more harmonious environment within your body, allowing your cells to function optimally. Visualization is a powerful tool that helps you command your cells and create the life you want. It involves using your imagination to form clear mental images of your goals and desired outcomes. When you vividly picture what you want, you send strong positive signals to your cells, telling them how to support and manifest your desires. Let's explore how this works and how you can use visualization to improve your health and well-being. Imagine you want to be healthier and more vibrant. Visualization starts with creating a clear and detailed image of yourself in that healthy state. Close your eyes and picture yourself as energetic, full of life, and free from illness. See yourself moving with ease, feeling good, and enjoying every moment. The more detailed and vivid your mental image, the stronger the message you send to your cells. When you consistently visualize yourself in this healthy state, your brain begins to believe that this is your reality. Your brain and body work together to turn this vision into your physical reality. It's like setting a goal and then taking steps to achieve it. By repeatedly focusing on this image of health, you are guiding your cells to align with that vision. Visualization doesn't just involve seeing images. It also includes feeling the emotions connected to those images. As you visualize yourself as healthy and vibrant, allow yourself to feel the joy, energy, and well-being that come with it. This emotional component is crucial because your cells respond not just to images, but also to the feelings associated with them. When you combine a clear mental image with positive emotions, you create a powerful signal that your cells pick up and act on. For example, if you are visualizing yourself as free from pain, imagine how it feels to move comfortably, to enjoy activities without restrictions, and to experience joy in your daily life. Feel the relief and happiness as if it's happening right now. Your cells will start to align with these positive feelings and work towards making this vision a reality. Visualization also helps you create a sense of clarity and focus. When you have a clear picture of your goals, it becomes easier to make decisions and take actions that support them. Your mind and body are more synchronized, and you are more likely to take steps that lead you toward achieving your desired state of health. Consistency is key when it comes to visualization. It's not just about doing it once and expecting immediate results. Instead, make visualization a regular part of your routine. Set aside a few minutes each day to practice. This daily habit reinforces your goals and keeps your cells focused on your desired outcomes. But visualization alone is not enough. You need to combine it with focused intention. Focused intention means being clear and specific about what you want to achieve. When you set a clear intention and visualize it regularly, you are essentially instructing your cells to work toward that goal. This practice helps to rewire your brain and body, aligning them with your desired outcomes. Meditation is like a key that unlocks deeper parts of your mind and body, helping you communicate more effectively with your cells. When you meditate, you enter a special state of awareness that can greatly impact your health and well-being. Let's dive into how meditation works and how it helps you command your cells. When you start meditating, your brain waves change. You go from beta waves, which are the fast waves active when you're alert and busy, to slower alpha and theta waves. This shift is important because it means you are moving from a state of active thinking to a more relaxed and receptive state. In this relaxed state, your mind is more open to change and influence. This is exactly where meditation becomes powerful for influencing your cells. Here's how it works. When you're in the beta state, your brain is focused on the outside world. You're thinking about daily tasks, problem solving, and making decisions. But when you meditate, your brain moves into alpha and theta waves. Alpha waves are associated with relaxation and calm, while theta waves are linked to deep relaxation and creativity. In these states, your mind is quieter and more focused inwardly. In this meditative state, you are more connected to your inner self and less distracted by external stimuli. This makes it the perfect time to focus on communicating with your cells. Just like how you might tell a friend what you need or want, you can use meditation to send messages to your cells about healing, abundance, and transformation. During meditation, you can visualize your cells as vibrant and healthy. Imagine them working together perfectly to keep your body in balance and full of energy. See your cells repairing and renewing themselves, working to make you feel better and stronger. By doing this, you are sending positive messages to your cells, telling them to focus on health and well-being. When you are in this relaxed state, your brain is also more responsive to the thoughts and feelings you create. If you focus on positive thoughts and emotions during meditation, your brain and body align with those feelings. This alignment helps reinforce the messages you are sending to your cells. For example, if you focus on feeling joyful and grateful, your brain releases chemicals that support those emotions. These chemicals then signal your cells to maintain a state of health and vitality. Another benefit of meditating is that it helps reduce stress. Stress can have a negative impact on your body, causing tension and disrupting your natural balance. When you meditate regularly, you lower your stress levels, which helps your cells function better. Lower stress means your cells are less likely to be in a state of fight or flight and more likely to be in a state of repair and renewal. Meditation also helps you develop greater self-awareness. This awareness means you can better understand what your body needs and how to support it. By tuning into your body's signals and responses, you can make more informed choices about your health and well-being. This self-awareness is crucial for commanding your cells because it allows you to direct your focus where it's most needed. When you meditate, focus on how you want to feel and what you want to achieve. Picture your cells as vibrant and healthy, functioning at their highest potential. As you maintain this focus, your brain will produce the necessary chemicals and signals to support this vision. Over time, this consistent practice can lead to profound changes in your physical health and overall well-being. Consistency is really important when it comes to changing your life. The more often you practice techniques like positive thinking, controlling your emotions, visualization, and meditation, the better you can influence your body and mind. It's not enough to try these things just once in a while. To see real results, you need to make them a regular part of your daily routine. Let's break down why consistency matters so much. When you practice positive thinking regularly, you train your mind to focus on good things. This helps you stay motivated and optimistic, which can lead to better outcomes in your life. Instead of letting negative thoughts hold you back, you're constantly reinforcing a positive mindset. This change in attitude affects how you deal with challenges and opportunities. Emotional control is another area where consistency makes a big difference. Emotions can be powerful, and they influence how you feel and act. When you practice controlling your emotions regularly, you learn how to manage stress, anxiety, and other negative feelings more effectively. This doesn't mean you won't have negative emotions, but you'll get better at handling them in a way that doesn't hurt your health or well-being. Your cells are incredibly responsive to your commands. They are constantly adapting to the signals they receive from your brain and body. By consistently sending them positive and empowering messages, you are shaping your physical reality. You are transforming your body from a state of stress and imbalance to one of health and harmony. One important thing to keep in mind is that change takes time. Just like a ship needs time to change course, your body requires time to adjust to new commands. Be patient with yourself and trust the process. The more you practice, the more natural these new patterns will become. Commanding your cells involves understanding the powerful connection between your thoughts, emotions, and physical health. By harnessing the power of positive thinking, emotional control, visualization, and meditation, you can effectively communicate with your cells and guide them toward optimal health and well-being. Hide God anywhere. It would be a good place to hide. It would be within the human being, because everybody's looking outside of themselves, and we look for reasons to change and regulate our emotional states. We think that things and people and external things will really fulfill emotions that we're trying to change within us. And that truly, when we start to really investigate who we are and look to see how we do that and demystify it, I think once we start to demystify it, it can become a skill. And so Einstein was a super cool guy because he spent a lot of time inward, and at 12 years old, he asked himself this simple question: if I ride my bicycle at the speed of light, and I turn my lamp on, I turn my headlight on, will it go on? So he thought about that question every single day of his life. Every day of his life. He would go out in a boat on a lake as a child and lay on his back in the boat and look up at the sky and think about this. And he was building models of understanding. He was working his best to be able to figure out how light and energy were related. He did it for 10 years. He was possessed by the concept. And finally, he was working as a third-rate clerk in a Swiss patent office, and he was watching this man fix the roof across the way. And he just paused for a moment, and he was watching him. And the moment he was watching him, he got this incredible vision, and he understood how light and energy were related. It was a very abstract vision. And it was so abstract and so dimensional that he had to go back to school to learn the mathematics to be able to explain what he saw. And his wife, his first wife, was an amazing scientist, and she helped him with a lot of the mathematics. And so when Einstein began to figure it out, he narrowed it down to that one simple equation that E equals mc squared, energy and matter related, and the currency converter is the speed of light. And so it became very interesting because when Einstein published his papers on relativity, he didn't say like, hey, this person said this and this person said this, and I'm going to footnote this person. He just said, ladies and gentlemen, this is how it is. And it rocked the scientific community because he didn't really need anybody else as a reference. He had a discovery, and his discovery was so unique, and his brain really was wired for the understanding of light. And light was the ceiling of this reality. And so Einstein and Planck started doing these really interesting experiments where they were taking energy and they were putting energetic impulses into metals. And what they were looking to see is if electrons behave the same way as the very large. In other words, when an apple falls from the tree, it falls in a very specific way. It falls towards the center. It falls towards the larger body. So he reasoned, well, if we disturb electrons, and him and Planck were doing these experiments, if we disturb these electrons, then they should fall just like an apple falling from the tree towards the nucleus. It should be predictable. just like it's predictable in Newtonian physics and classical physics. Well, when they started disturbing the electrons, something very unusual happened. The electron gained energy, then it lost energy, and it gained energy, and it lost energy, and it gained energy, and it lost energy. And instead of it falling like a ball rolling down a hill, it was like a ball rolling down steps. All of a sudden, they became very aware that the subatomic world, the very tiny, didn't behave like the very large world. And so then they started to look for the electron. They started to try to measure it. And everywhere they looked for it, it appeared. And when they turned their back on it and they no longer looked to measure it, it went from a particle that collapsed, called collapsing the wave function, back into energy. Now, this was a revolutionary moment because this meant that subjective mind, your mind has an effect on the objective world. That mind and matter are somehow correlated. And so this birth of quantum physics came along. And this quantum physics experiment say that you cannot do a quantum physics experiment without an observer around. In other words, a mind always has to be present because it will influence the outcome. You with me? So now that invisible field of spirit, that invisible field of information and energy, somehow you as an individual can influence the nature of reality with your mind. The same experiences produce the same emotions. Those same emotions tend to influence the way we think. And our biology, our neurocircuitry, our neurochemistry, our hormones, and even our gene expression is equal to how we think, how we act, and how we feel. And how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So then it makes sense then, if you want to create a new personal reality, a new life, you're going to have to change your personality. And you've got to start thinking about what you've been thinking about and change it. You've got to become aware of your unconscious habits and behaviors, even how you speak. Then you have to look at the emotions that you live by every single day and decide, do these emotions belong in my future? So many people try to create a new life as the same person. In order to create a new personal reality, you've got to change your personality. So the principle in neuroscience says that nerve cells that fire together, wire together, thinking the same way, making the same choices, demonstrating the same actions, creating the same experiences that stamp the same networks of neurons into the same patterns, all for the familiar feeling called you. And you do that for 10 years in a row, you're going to hardwire your brain into a very finite signature because you're firing and wiring that way. And that box in the brain, that becomes our personality, becomes our identity. And by the time we're 35 years old, for the most part, we've done something so many times that the body now knows how to do it as well as the mind. And that's a habit. So we have these unconscious programs of behaviors, automatic habits, redundant emotional reactions, hardwired beliefs, perceptions, attitudes that function just like a computer program. You press go and it runs automatically. So then when it comes time to change, thinking positively is going to do nothing because your body has been conditioned for the most part into a program in the past. So the thought never makes it to the body because the body's on a different program. So how do we begin to influence the body so that the thought actually produces some type of change? So think about it. If you think an unhappy thought, you're going to feel unhappy. If you think you're a failure, you're going to feel like a failure. Once you feel like a failure, you're going to think you're a failure. And people get caught in these loops of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking. And that redundancy is a conditioning process because all you need is an image or a picture or a thought and a feeling, a response, stimulus response. And so the people tend to condition their brain and body into the past. And so when it comes time to change, you got to leave that familiar territory. And any choice that you make, if you said, hey, I'm going to eat a better diet, I'm going to wake up early and work out, I'm going to do meditation, the moment you decide to do something differently, get ready because it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel unfamiliar. There's going to be some uncertainty. You're not going to be able to predict the next moment. That means you've left your known biology and you're stepping into the unknown. Now, theoretically, that sounds great, but if the body has been conditioned into a familiar feeling, it's in the known. The moment you take it outside the familiarity, it wants to go back to where it's comfortable. So the body starts influencing the mind. And this is where people say, I want you to start your diet tomorrow. Oh, why don't you start working out this evening? You're really never going to change. You're too tired. You have a headache. This doesn't feel right. And this is where people talk themselves out of it. Because if they respond to that thought leads to the same choice, which leads to the same behavior, creates the same experience, produces the same feeling, and then they say, this feels right. No, that feels familiar. So going from one state of mind and body to another state of mind and body, you gotta cross a river. And the hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. Now, once people understand that they're going to be uncomfortable, then the question is, what thoughts do you want to fire and wire in your brain? What behaviors will you demonstrate in one day? And the act of closing your eyes and rehearsing who you're going to be when you open your eyes begins to install neurological hardware in your brain to look like you've already done it. Now, intention is a vision, a potential that already exists in the quantum field that you get to select. And when you ask yourself a question like, what would it be like to be healthy? What would it be like to be wealthy? What would it be like to be free or to be in love? The moment you ask that creative question, a part of your brain called the frontal lobe turns on. That's the crowning achievement of the human being. Once that area of the brain turns on, it's like a great symphony leader. It looks out of the landscape of the entire brain and it begins to randomly select different networks of neurons that are connected to the things you've learned in your life or the experiences you've had. And it begins to seamlessly paste them together to create an ideal, a vision, or an internal representation. That is a potential experience that's awaiting you. But it's not enough to just have the mind involved. Thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. And how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. Once you can begin to emotionally embrace that future reality before it's made manifest, when you combine that clear intention with an elevated emotion, the freedom, the joy, the inspiration, the genuine love that you feel or gratitude from that experience, the moment you do that, your body as the unconscious mind begins to believe it's living in that future reality in the present moment. Now you're moving into a new state of being, into a new personality, and a new personality creates a new personal reality. The research that we've done shows that when we teach people how to regulate their internal states, to begin to create more coherence in their brain, and to generate elevated emotions like joy and gratitude and inspiration, that not only does the brain become coherent, but so does the heart. And when the brain is coherent, the heart is coherent. When the heart is coherent, the brain is coherent. And so why don't we live by these states on a daily basis? Primarily because the majority of the time that we live in our waking state of consciousness, 70% of the time, you and I are living by the hormones of stress. And living in stress is living in survival. And when you're living in survival, the very chemicals of survival cause you to function as materialist, defining your reality with your senses. You pay attention to objects and things and people. You begin to believe that your outer world is more real than your inner world. And the side effect of this over time begins to cause us to feel separate from possibility. Why? Because when you're threatened by some predator or some danger in your life, it's not a time to go in. It's not a time to trust the unknown. It's not a time to open your heart and feel love. It's not a time to communicate. It's not a time to create. It's not a time to learn. It's a time to survive. So then, in order for us to create, we have to lay down the very thing we used our whole life to get what we want for something greater to occur. And most importantly, we want you to understand when you're in the creative state and when you're not. And if you were to take a little time every day and apply some of the principles in changing beliefs and perceptions about yourself and your life, and what is a belief other than a thought you keep thinking over and over again? And all beliefs are based on past experiences. And in order for you to change a belief or perception about yourself and your life, you have to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that's greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body, and your body literally has to respond to a new mind. And when the choice becomes an experience that you never forget, that's the moment the past biologically no longer exists in you. People use the word victim so much, and I don't really think we spend a lot of time really unraveling the idea. But if I said to you, Jay, how are you doing today? And you said, well, I'm really upset because of this person or this circumstance or this condition in my life, then what we're saying, this is not conscious, this is an unconscious program. What we're saying is somebody out there is actually controlling the way I'm feeling and the way that I'm thinking. So if something out there is controlling your feelings and your thoughts, you're victim to whoever, whatever that is. Now here's the challenge. The challenge is when things go really well, then you are feeling really good. But when things aren't going very well, then you're feeling pretty bad. You begin to become conscious of your unconscious actions or habits or behaviors and modify them. And then we have to begin to look at the emotions that we live by every single day that keep us connected to the past and decide, do these emotions belong in our future? So most people are trying to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else. And can you select a new possibility in the quantum field and begin to emotionally embrace that future every single day to such a degree that your body, as the unconscious mind, the objective mind, does not know the difference between the experience in your life that's creating the emotion and the emotion that you're fabricating by thought alone, to the degree that you begin to signal new genes and new ways to change your body to look like the experience has already happened. Now, the latest research in epigenetics says it's absolutely possible. This every day, installing the circuitry every day, conditioning the body into the emotion of the future, that your body begins to change to look like it's already happened. Now this is where it gets fun, because now you no longer have to go anywhere to get it. If you think that your thoughts have something to do with your future, just from a theoretical standpoint, that your thoughts create your destiny, and you think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day, and 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before, well, then your life isn't going to change very much as long as you're thinking the same way. If you're not being defined by a vision of the future, then you're left with the memories of the past. Is it possible then that the way you think and the way you feel can begin to produce effects in your outer world? Now, that isn't something that you swallow in one bite. It's a process of gaining knowledge. It's a process of practice. It's a process of experience. But once you start seeing those synchronicities, those coincidences, those opportunities, that start to fall into place because you're experiencing change in your outer world. If you're doing the work, you're going to start paying attention to what you're doing inside of you that's producing the effect outside of you. And once you correlate the changes of what you're doing inside of you with the effect you produce outside of you, you're going to pay attention to what you did, and you're going to do it again. And all of a sudden, you're going to start believing more that you're the creator of your life and less of the victim of your life. And those same thoughts lead to the same choices. The same choices lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors create the exact same experiences, and we anticipate the same feelings or emotions from those experiences.